I already explained that. What are you talking
Great.
about?
So
You're the one.
great. Hold on. Stop. So if you agree that simply because something
I
is
do agree. I don't agree.
So if you agree that something being associated with something doesn't necessitate that it's a part of it, then you can agree the same thing.
That's not what I'm contending. Are you dumb? I'm saying that. Okay, first of all, what I meant.
Thank you for whoever did that. You're actively straw manning us. You're actively actually I was the one who made the statement. You're actually stop talking. All right, this is where you get dropped. I'm done with him. Like he doesn't listen. He keeps straw manning what we're saying, and then he's like, I want to respond. You're running. No, you're interrupting, and you're not listening to the words coming out of our mouths. At no point in time do we say gender roles were a part of gender. Gender roles are associated with the gender. Gender stereotypes are associated with the gender. In the same way that racial stereotypes are associated with the race. And racial norms and racial hierarchies and all of these socially constructed things are associated with the race. It doesn't define the race. And he sounded so shocked by the statement, gender and gender roles are different. Is he dumb?
Yeah. That's why you said yes, N-word.
That's why he sounds so confused. Yes, gender and gender roles are not the same thing. Gender and gender stereotypes are not the same thing.
Yeah,
Gotta be honest. They need to stop.
You're strawmanning me, and then
Beckham. I was talking, baby. They need Beckham.
Hey, I'm not talking.
But I was speaking before you came up. So I was just going to say they need to stop teaching sociology to people who are stupid because they can't grasp what it actually means. Carry on, Beckham.
And philosophy.
Oh, he's gone.
No, I dropped him because he keeps unmuting, and having to continually mute him continuously gets very annoying after a while. So you just have to drop him. So Beckham. Before you go, Becca, hold on, Charlie. We're going to give you stop. You're already starting. Shut up.
Give him a timer.
We know you're a child, but it's okay. We're gonna give you a moment. So the condition that you remain on the panel is that you do not overspeak nor interrupt anybody while they're speaking. The exact same courtesy will be applied to you in the exception of you straw manning, mischaracterizing, or lying about something that you said. The same thing applies to us. If we're lying about something, shut up! Jesus Christ Almighty.
Dude, you just talk so fucking much. Like,
yeah, I know. I have to talk a lot to you because you don't make any damn sense, and I have to keep. Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying, all you need to do is calm your balls. I know you're hard for me and you're hard for everyone else on the panel, but we don't want you, okay?
Oh.
So just relax.
Everyone else.
No thanks.
It's okay. Just relax. It's okay. I know you're especially hard for Kyle, but just you guys can do all of that after. All right. Now just listen now.
Yeah.
What we've said is the position being articulated is that gender refers to adults of a particular species in conjunction with their sex. That's the conjunct. So age, species, and sex. That's going to be in the context of the Homo sapien species, woman, man, boy, and girl. That's our position. Now, gender norms, roles, expectations, and stereotypes are going to be things that we socially and culturally associate with men, women, boys, and girls. And those things are classified as masculine or feminine. You can respond.
Okay, yeah, so I want to know how gender roles are not associated to gender.
That's not, I said they were. They're associated with it. But they're
by associated, what do you mean?
Yeah, it means, so I just said this. So an associative characteristic just refers to something that is subsequently attributed or ascribed to a particular category.
Yeah, and how is this not a determinant?
Because it's associative, because it doesn't set necessary conditions and or criteria. It already stop. You asked me a fucking question. This is where you get dropped. Because you ask questions, and then you don't.
You're a little bit hard for me.
And you don't let people fucking respond. You just asked me a fucking question. Are you dumb?
Calm down, okay?
Yes, I'm not gonna calm down because you keep interrupting me. Shh, listen. So it's not a determinative. It's not a determinative quality or category because it doesn't set necessary conditions for the criteria or for the category. The necessary conditions were already established. The necessary conditions to fall into a particular gender is to be of a particular age, a particular species, and a particular sex. In the context of the Homo sapien species, this is just going to be human males and human females. And the terms is man, woman, boy, and girl. If you're juvenile and you're adult, if you're juvenile and you're human and you're female, you're a girl. If you're juvenile and you're human and you're male, you're a boy. Woman and man are just adult humans belonging to either of the two sexes. Now, gender norms for the fifth time are things that we socially, or duties or expectations that we associate with men and women. And they are called masculine and feminine. So when you look at any contemporary utilization of the word feminine, it just means a set of qualities or traits that we traditionally associate with women. Okay? So it's
Okay, great. So do you think
associated.
that-
So it's associated with the category. It doesn't define the category.
Yeah, it's almost like the category just doesn't exist and it's arrdumb. That's what I'm saying.
And it's
But if
actually
you're
dumb as
saying,
hell.
Bro, this guy's
Wait, hold on,
stupid.
hold on.
He's
And it's
actually
actually dumb.
am I gonna be able to respond? Am I gonna be able to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Let him
yeah.
go.
Yes,
Don't
how-
interrupt him.
I
guys.
want to hear this. Go ahead.
Yeah, let him go.
Yeah, so how are you saying that certain qualities of gender, right, are going to be associated with the concept of gender, but and also be like arbitrary and non-existent, okay? And saying that like femininity is associated with womanhood and stuff like that, but then say that, like some concepts of gender or some parts of gender are not going to be associated, and those are deterministic factors, and those are not those are like mind independent.
Science and
That's
sociology,
not
babe.
what I.
I don't know how
That's not what
that's
I.
not a contradiction.
That's not what I said. So what
Yeah,
I
that's a
said.
contradiction, by the way.
No, it's not a contradiction. So I separated between a trait that's determinative of gender versus a characteristic that's associated with gender. So let's do an analogy. Just to let's do. Stop talking. I let you finish your damn question. Stop interrupting. Nobody interrupted you while you were talking.
You just got to lower your voice, man. I know you're getting a little.
I was very calm with you initially.
Don't get upset. Don't get upset. It's fine.
I would literally rather talk to Dean than whoever this
Listen.
is.
Okay.
Be okay. Don't worry.
Shh. So, right. So, let's do an analogy to prove exactly what I told you. Okay. Let us say race is defined by phenotype. Okay. It's going to be defined by a set of physiological phenotypic traits, and then there are going to be racial stereotypes and racial associations made with race. That includes stereotypes. Does the racial association define the race? The example of the association being a person who eats watermelon and chicken. Does the racial association define the racial category under this view?
Because the racial category is something that's mind independent. Gender is not mind independent. You're saying that
No, we define. Yes, it is. Human. Yes,
How is
we.
gender
Yes,
mind independent?
yes. Human and female are mind independent. Yes, they are.
Wait, yeah, those things are not the way we describe gender. What are you talking
Wait, no,
about?
stop.
Nobody
Now
describes
you're
gender.
committing. Now you're committing an equivocation fallacy. You asked us
Wait,
under
what?
our view what we mean when we say it. I don't care how other people are referencing it. We told you how we are referencing. Stop interrupting. Because all you're doing is committing an equivocation
don't
fallacy.
say your nonsense,
You
man. I
asked for
can-
clarification. Stop. You asked for clarification of gender under our view, and I gave it to you. You can't then say we, whoever the fuck that is, don't reference it in that way.
Okay, great.
The
Yeah,
person
like,
speaking
can
to
make your
you,
own language, right?
the person speaking to you has elaborated on his position several times.
Look, great. You can make your own language to have its own certain concepts, right?
It's
that doesn't
not-
mean that
no,
gonna
it's
have-
not- it's
Hold
not- it's not
on, I'm
privatized.
responding to you. I'm responding.
Okay, I'm actually done. Can we move on to somebody else, please?
I want to know in what language. or
No,
what,
can we
like-
not? I just don't care anymore. Can we
Yeah,
just
that-
move on to
it's
somebody
okay.
else? Just
You
boring.
can't ask us what our framework is, and when we're telling you our framework instead of critiquing our framework, it's like that's not we're not French. We, but mother.
Just can we just stop letting him up now, please? Can we just move on?
It's literally the English language, not our language.
Why me?
English.
The fuck, Libra?
That's what I was gonna say.
Just don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah, that's right, the English language, because it came from England, mate. All right.
He can't help himself, and then he keeps like you tell him what your position is, and then he goes, "Well, that's not how I'm referencing it." Of course not. You're asking us what we mean when we say the word. If you want to critique the coherency of it, that's fine. But even when you tried to critique it, he ended up strawmanning because you keep saying that we're saying that associative characteristics to gender are part of gender. No, they're not. That's the reason it's associative. It doesn't define or isn't a part
I
of the
do just
category
wanna-
itself.
First of all, Wolverine, I'm not from fucking Turkey, never ever make that fucking assumption again. Secondly, Kylie, you've been up here like pretty much near enough the longest now, and I don't think you've even said a single thing.
Oh dear God, not Kylie. Hi, Kylie.
Pill, I'm blocking him for the live because he keeps re-requesting and I'm kind of tired of him now.
I mean,
Just for the period of the live.
Well, I have a quick question.
No.
So your
what's up, Kyle?
definition.
No, I'd rather hear because Kylie doesn't.
Yeah,
make
I was joking. Oh.
It's just that Kyle. Let's let the male version of Kylie talk. Well, they're both male, but still. Kyle, what's your?
Okay. So your definition of sex is just like the biological processes that females go through, right?
The reproductive anatomy that produces is organized around the production of or denotes the capacity to produce large or small gametes. That's male and female
Right.
across all species that sexually reproduce. Yes.
So why is that process intrinsic to the what being a lumen is?
Because woman just specifies that it's a Homo sapien who possesses that reproductive capacity.
So if a woman is like sterile, is she still a woman?
Sarah, yes, because the word denoting is present. So I'll just redefine female for you. Of or primarily denoting the sex that can produce large gametes. That's the definition. Sterile women still denote the capacity to produce large gametes. So give an example. So when you say she's sterile, give an example. Any particular medical condition, anything that you're talking about? Did they give us?
It's like they were born sterile. I don't know if there's a specific word.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. We have several examples of that. So one is Swyer syndrome or 46XY pure gonadal dysgenesis. They're born without ovaries. They don't produce large gametes inherently. They don't. Okay. However, they still possess a surrounding reproductive anatomy that denotes the capacity to produce that type of gamete. So in the instance of females with Swyer syndrome, they have fallopian tubes, a small uterus, and a vagina. Those things are indicative of or denote the capacity to produce large gametes. So their primary reproductive anatomy denotes that capacity, therefore they're still considered female.
I disagree.
I see how that's useful for defining female, but I don't see why
It's useful for defining a human female because only human females can have Swyer syndrome. That's also a human.
I don't see why it's useful for defining women.
Wait, wait, hold on. I just explained it. Swyer syndrome is a condition that only affects women. No other species. No, stop. No other species experiences 46XY pure gonadal dysgenesis. Humans do. That's why we wouldn't just say females with Swyer's. No, we say women or girls with Swyer syndrome. It specifies the species we're talking about. Where's the contention?
So for the societal use of woman, I don't see why
the societal use of this
process is necessary.
the societal that's the point. The societal utility just has to do with stereotypical inferences, and that's what we're saying we disagree with. Because everything that you said you utilized to infer that a person is a man or woman was stereotypically based. Yeah, and I'm saying that doesn't make any sense because stereotypes oversimplify the thing that you're referencing. Do you know what it means to oversimplify something?
It's kind of self-defining.
No, oversimplification just means
the word oversimplify is
yeah. Tell me what it means when you say you oversimplify something. There's a particular operative word in the definition or the way that the word oversimplify is used that would make my point.
It's like down too much.
So it's simplified to such an extent that a distorted impression is given of the thing or things that you're referring to. So if you utilize stereotypes, you're giving a distorted impression. You're oversimplifying the category. And then you end up committing category errors because you agree that feminine men, right, would somehow fit into your categorization of woman. Because men can also possess these feminine traits. Femininity is a stereotype. Feminine is a stereotype. It's just stereotypical associations made with the female sex or women and girls. The female sex in humans.
Well, that's where the subscribing to the stereotype is.
Right, but then you're saying you get to subscribe to the oversimplified generalization and still be a woman. And I'm saying that doesn't make any sense. The stereotypes also apply to men.
What?
The stereotypes also apply to men. Men can subscribe to these stereotypes. You agreed to this. Should having long hair and makeup, I asked you if men can desire to have long hair and makeup. You said yes.
I said they can subscribe to it, but it doesn't apply to them. Generally.
No, but then, hold on. That's the definition of woman. A woman is a person who subscribes to those social norms. That's the definition.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then if men can subscribe to it, then feminine men are women. That's a category error. You're including men in your definition. And then you're excluding masculine women who don't subscribe.
I'm not including men because they'd be identifying as women.
No, under the oh my God, this is where the shift of the goalpost is. The original qualifier isn't a person who identifies as a woman. The original qualifier is a person who subscribes to a particular set of social norms. You're saying if a person subscribes to those social norms, they're a man or a woman. But we established that men can subscribe to the social norms that you're including under the definition of woman, which would include men in the
Can I ask how much the subscription is real quick? Like, is it a free subscription or is it paid? Like, is it monthly? Like,
No,
I don't know how
$9.99 a month.
Yeah.
Well,
How do people
if you're
subscribe?
subscribing, if you're
Can we just be
subscribing-
serious here and let him answer? So, do you understand where
subscribing to
the
being a woman? There's definitely some payment you're gonna have to go through.
So how much is the subscription? How do we qualify someone as subscribed?
Can he just respond and then I'll let you go, Manimal? I just want him to answer
I
what I'm
never
telling
subscribed to
him
it.
without the jokes, because when he jokes too much, he loses the plot. And I'm actually trying to get to something actually deeper.
Yeah. So when you're saying subscribing, it's not.
You are the one saying subscribing. It's your view, not mine.
Okay. When you're reiterating me saying subscribing, it's not.
I subscribe for real though.
He
So go
did.
ahead.
He said desire
I'm
to.
trying so hard.
He said by subscribe he means desire to be in accordance with, and I'm saying that he's acknowledged that men can desire to be in accordance with those social norms, but they're still men. So obviously, desiring to be in accordance with those social norms isn't a listen, Kyle, listen.
I'm trying to explain it to you.
You don't listen. Stop. You're not listening to me. I've heard everything
you
you've said.
You just keep going on rants every time.
He would
So, anyways,
also
as I
need
was
to
saying,
explain what being in
You're-
accordance with something is. Then at that point,
yeah, no, that doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Desire to be in accordance with it means just means a particular want or wish to fall in line with something. That's all that means. And he said this already. I'm just saying to him, right, that he's acknowledged. So, for example, when you're talking about the social norms of what you're defining a woman to be, men can desire to have those things. He said long hair and makeup. So then, if a person so let me just clarify. If you're saying the necessary condition to be a woman is to desire to be in accordance with long hair and makeup, right? And men can desire to be in accordance with long hair and makeup and still be men, that means that desiring to be in accordance with long hair and makeup is not a necessary condition to be a woman. It's not a definitive quality.
Condition. Like they want to be a woman, not they want to have long
No,
hair.
but then stop. That wasn't what you said. You said it was a desire to be in accordance with a particular gender role associated with being female. That's what you said. So now you've changed the definition.
It's the desire to want to be a woman. And
Okay, then well now you've changed. So you're conceding stop. So you're conceding the previous definition because that wasn't the definition you gave initially.
that's the one I meant.
Okay, so then you're conceding the previous definition. Mean what you say and say what you mean, because you didn't. That's not what you want. You've wasted our time. You've wasted our time trying to articulate something that you didn't even mean to begin with.
Well, you
So-
start rambling every time I try to talk. So.
I don't start rambling. I'm addressing your position, and you're upset about it. Don't keep coping. Now, anyways, if you're conceding the definition, so it's not a person who desires to be in accordance with gender norms or roles associated with being female. It's just a woman. A woman is just a person who desires to be a woman. That's just a circular definition. So that's barrier number 2. You can't say A is a person who desires to be A. We don't know what A means. Can you describe beyond the word itself what woman means?
It's the societal norms that gender usually represents. Like it doesn't.
That's circular. That's circular. We're trying to define the gender.
The gender doesn't have to have a blanket definition.
It has to have a definition for you to use it in a sentence. If you're saying a woman is if you're saying a woman is this particular thing, woman must have a definition. Yes, it must have a definition.
What do you call? Huh? I was reading.
Define woman. You haven't defined it yet, sir. Or they or them or whatever you are.
I just did.
No, you didn't. You were circular. Your definition was circular and non-informative. You just repeated the word.
It's a construct. It doesn't have to have a fucking.
Constructs have definitions. Words are constructs. You agree words have meaning, yes?
Definitions that apply to a lot of shit.
Okay, what? Okay. You're
money
just
in Pokemon
stop.
cards is
All you're proving to us here is that you don't know what a woman is. You're just further obfuscating and saying, I don't have a definition for the word. That's what you're doing. So you don't know what a woman is.
I can't think of a definition that would encompass all of the.
Okay, so then don't say don't say trans women are women because you don't know what a woman is. Next. It's that simple. You don't know what a woman. You don't have a definition. You don't have a definition of woman.
Pokemon cards the same thing.
You don't have a definition. You don't have a definition of woman. And the
Pokemon
host.
Pokemon cards the same thing.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
Are money and Pokemon cards the same thing?
No, there's a difference between money and a subcategory of money.
But
So
they could both be
money.
expensive.
Stop and let me explain it to you. You literal dumb imbecile. Let me explain it to you. Listen. Money would be the umbrella term that describes the types of things that are a medium of exchange, have store of value, right, and so on. That would be what money would be under this view, okay? Now, Pokemon, in a particular context, yes, would suffice as a type of money if you're using it as a medium of exchange. So, for example, if you Poke collectors decided that you all wanted to, I don't know, exchange these items for a medium of exchange, it would be something of monetary value. Yes.
I just want to quickly address something. Esma, is it true that you don't believe racism exists outside of
Oh
the
my
US?
God.
That's exactly why he invited me up here.
No, we already.
Exactly why he invited me up here.
No, we already squashed it. He agreed it does.
Oh no, I know.
We talked about it.
But I just like bringing it up. But anyways, Kyle,
Right.
can you address Nate's question?
Yeah, so then, no, it was just a statement. So this is just, so yes, it would be considered a type of money. I don't see how this addresses what a woman is, though.
So that means currency as a whole is a spectrum of things that don't have a solid base.
It does, no, that's not what that means. I just explained what it was.
So
You're
generally,
reaching now.
It's based on who determines what it is.
What?
What money is whatever somebody decides money is.
No, it's not. It has to meet a particular criteria.
Being traded. That's it.
No, it has to have a store of value. It has to be a medium of exchange. It has to be a unit of account.
Okay.
Right? So,
Whatever society determines X gender is.
no, you don't. That's not analogous. No, that's not analogous to the definition of money. Money has an explanation. Define the gender. So in the same way, I said money is a medium of exchange that persons would use to buy and sell goods and services, is what I said. And it's used, to store value and pay back debts. And I gave you a few functions of the money. Functions of money include, store of value. It simply just means that money can be used and saved for later. It means it can be a unit of account. It means that it would be a common way to measure economic transactions. And then it's a medium of exchange because it's just something that you utilize to buy and sell things from people. That is an explanation of what money is. You are not giving any explanation of what a woman is. You're just saying a woman is whatever a woman is. It's not analogous to the definition of money.
It's whatever that society.
Okay, one second.
Gender-
Rue's been removed because of community guidelines, so I'm guessing they've been bananaed.
Who?
People
Rue?
are just reporting.
Rue, yeah.
Oh, let me come down from here.
Anyway, we already went through this,
No, yeah, we went through it, and you've proven that you don't have a coherent definition of man or woman.
and I gotta go to the bathroom. So.
Oh, you're leaving? Oh, you're running? Oh, not the running. Is this the running that Beckham was talking about? You run to the
We're
bathroom?
gonna go back to apartment hunting.
Okay, Indra, please use condoms. Right. Anyways.
One second. Beckham's in the server? What? What do you mean, bloody basket? Esmer, what's a woman?
He doesn't know. He's
An
admitted.
adult human female.
Okay, so then you're not non-binary then, because you're not neither an adult human male or an adult human female. Right. Yeah, you're not non-binary because you're not neither an adult human male or an adult human
Well,
female.
no, I think I am non-binary. I think.
Okay, then how are you neither man or woman? If man and woman
I
are
think a societal identity just means I claim to be it, but that's fine.
no, that's not what societal identity means. If you claim an identity, you have to know what.
But
You
the
have
crazy
to.
thing,
you
but the
have
crazy
to,
thing is,
Esmeralda. Who was here when Esmeralda conceded
The
this
crazy
argument
thing
to me?
is-
Shh. Who was here when Esmeralda conceded this argument to me on Envy's Live? Who was there?
I don't really watch Envy's live, so I can't say if I
That's
have.
fine. I'm just asking the chat. I'm just checking. Because you had this debate with me and you lost it.
which I can give you that I did indeed lose the
Okay, so you're not
It's
non-binary.
not gonna, but it's not gonna change my stance on how I identify.
Oh, so
as
you're
much
being
as you want it
willfully-
to, it's not
Oh.
gonna.
Oh, so you're being willfully ignorant then. So you get proven wrong on something and then you continue to hold the belief still to be true after you get proven wrong. I
It's
just
not
want to-
willfully ignorant. You know?
Yes, it is. Do you know what ignorance is?
Literally.
Wait, it's not willfully.
That's what it
Yes,
means.
it
No,
is.
Esmery, if you get proven wrong and you can see that you lost the argument for how
I
you're
don't
not
let.
binary.
I don't let. Nah. What?
If you get proven wrong as to your identity, as to what non-binary means, and then you still believe you're non-binary after you concede that you don't know what non-binary means, then you are being willfully ignorant. You're still holding a belief to be true after it's been proven wrong. That's willful ignorance. That's
Which again-
exactly what that is.
Which
Exactly what it is.
Which again, I didn't concede that non-binary didn't exist. I didn't concede the
You
fact that I was
conceded-
non-binary. I wasn't good. I couldn't defend my,
You couldn't
So
defend.
that's fine.
You couldn't
That's
defend your
100
right. Okay, so then you're.
it's
so
100%.
So if your identity as non-binary gets disproven, why would you still identify as non-binary?
It's not.
Why?
Not necessarily disproven. I just wasn't.
Yes,
good at
it
explaining
was.
and that's
Okay,
fine.
let me. No,
Let
it's
me
not
ask
fine.
them if I can.
No, hold on. Let me explain what.
No,
let me
no,
explain what happened.
Nate. Because I
You
don't
said-
care.
All calm down
You
and not
said
overtalk each other, please.
I said to you that you didn't. You said a non-binary person was a person who was neither a man and neither a woman. I asked you what a woman and man were, and you didn't know. The only definition that you gave was the good definition of adult human male and adult
Really
human
not the
female.
way to have this conversation.
And you conceded that you can't be neither an adult human male or an adult human female. Therefore, you can't be neither a man nor a woman. Therefore, you're not non-binary. Non-binary is not a thing.
What is the point?
However, subsequent to being disproven about the identity claim that you made, you're still claiming the identity, which proves to me you are willfully ignorant.
Good for you, Nate. I'm willfully
W
ignorant.
concession.
Bro, you're poor. That's
concession.
fine.
W concession in the chat.
A-okay.
W concession. Madam, I'll take it away.
Well, I just want to ask him, Esmeray, do you think that, like, are you claiming to be the same as the females who are non-binary? Like, when females claim to be non-binary and you claim to be non-binary, are you now the same
No,
thing?
I'm not,
Okay,
Animal. I'm definitely not.
Perfect. So what's the difference between the female
It is
non-binaries?
a societal identity that I hold, and it really
Just hold
holds
on.
no weight to anyone here. It
Okay.
doesn't fucking matter. It
Okay,
genuinely
can I
does
just
not
can I just
fucking
ask that,
It
that
doesn't.
hold up,
It
can I
does
just
not
ask that
matter.
moderators hold up, can I just ask that moderators don't mute other moderators, please?
I could honestly at this point I could care less to have this conversation because at the end of the day, Animal
You're
or
gonna
Nate, you don't
lose.
pay my bills, you don't suck my
gonna
dick, you don't
lose.
suck
You're
your
mad.
smack, you
Go
don't
cash
feed
out.
me, you don't
Hey,
back
hey,
out.
hey,
Esmeray.
there's no need for
Esmeray.
moderators for being rude to other moderators. Come on,
Do
we're all
you
friends here.
acknowledge Esmeray? Okay, I don't care. I don't want to.
You don't fucking
he's
come
crashing
in your
out.
bedroom and have to enter in
Esmeray.
your-
Crashing out.
Do you acknowledge that there are two
I don't
types
care.
of
He's
non-binary?
crashing out.
I do not care. I don't.
Do you
You don't care because
acknowledge?
you lost.
I don't.
Do
care.
you acknowledge that there are two
I
types of
do
non-binaries, the
not-
males and the females?
Yes, Manimal.
Okay, so how many types of non-binaries are there?
There's two.
Two. So what does that make it?
A societal identity.
No, that makes it binary.
That doesn't make it binary, but that's fine.
How many? Okay, I'm going to try it again. How many
If you're
types of
non-binary, you
non-binaries
don't
are there?
fit in the you don't fit in the gender binary, but again, that's fine. I'm not here to discuss
But
it.
Esmeray,
I'm not-
Esmeray, we've just acknowledged
No,
though
I
there
don't-
are
I'm not here to
two
discuss it.
types of
No, I'm not
non-binaries,
here to
right?
discuss it. I'm not here to discuss
And when
it.
you,
No, it's fine.
I know, but just then shut up. Let me explain then, okay?
Well, no,
You're not here to
'cause
talk.
because
Okay,
I'm
you
being-
just said
I'm
you're not
being-
here to talk, so I'm going to explain my point to you, okay?
So no, I don't
You
care
just
to hear it
admitted-
be explained. I do
Please
not
be
care to hear
quiet.
it be explained. I don't care to hear it be explained.
Okay, then be
I
quiet.
genuinely don't.
Be quiet
I
then,
genuinely
please.
don't.
Then why are you here?
No, I'm all. I'm
What are you doing here? What are you doing
I
here,
was
Esmeray?
invited up here. Pill invited
Okay, then
me.
just
up
can you be
here.
quiet for a second?
Yeah, I love
Can you be
Esmer.
quiet?
Esmer is one
Okay,
of my
so,
favorite
Esmeray,
mods.
you just said that when you claim to be non-binary as a male, you're not claiming to be the same thing as the female non-binary. You also admitted that there are two types of
because
non-binaries. There are
does not fit in the regular
Shut
gender
up.
binary. That is what it is.
Shut
man.
up.
Again, you
Shut
can ask Google. No, I don't fucking care. How about you? I don't care, man. I genuinely don't care. Like I don't.
You
I
already
I
said
care
that.
less.
You
I
already
could
said
care
that.
less, Manimal.
So there
I
are
could
two
care
types of
less.
non-binaries.
Manimal.
They're the
Manimal,
males
I
and the
don't
females.
Care, Manimal. I don't
We need
care.
different
I'm not
words for
having
the
the
two different types.
conversation.
Why do you keep just interrupting,
It's
bro?
insane. It's insane. You talk about
So then-
respecting women. You're talking about
then stop.
respecting women, but you can't respect consent. I've told you that I'm
Because
not
you're not a
having
woman,
this
dude.
conversation with you. I'm not
Okay,
having
then
this
be quiet.
conversation.
I'm
I
not
don't
having the
want to
conversation
have
with
this
you either. You aren't talking.
No, because
Be
you're
quiet.
talking to me, fucknut. You're actually you're trying to have this
be
conversation.
quiet.
With me. You're
Esmeri,
actually
I'm
having
not.
this
I'm not
conversation
actually.
with
I'm
me.
not trying to have a conversation.
Okay. Can we just have decorum, please? Like, I'm calling each other fucknuts, and you don't bed me, and I bed you, and we all sleep together, and it's one massive orgy, and so on and so forth. Like, there's really, really no need. Okay. I'm probably gonna get banned for saying what I said. But as fun as it was hearing all of you guys, like, I just want some decorum, So how about we all request? Right, we're gonna re-request, and we're all gonna have one orgy. And I'm joking. We're all gonna be best friends. We're gonna, live our little fantasy. Oh my God, it's Trucker. Hi, Trucker. But
Thanks for having me up here, Bill.
So I like how you say you're not Trucker, but then you refuse to
Who is
you-
Trucker? Who's this Trucker person? Everybody talks about them. I have no idea who you're talking about.
literally are Trucker. I feel like I've had the same argument with you every single time when it comes to me arguing you as to what a woman is. What's a woman?
I mean, anybody who wants to anybody who wants to use that mouth sound to describe themselves, like literally.
So-
Okay, but what exactly are they describing?
Everybody has different definitions.
No, they don't. There's
yeah,
only
it
one.
does.
No, there's only one coherent definition of the word woman.
Yeah. Well, just like there's only one coherent definition of God, but we don't get into that.
There actually isn't. There's actually many.
There you go. Exact same thing. It's a mouth sound that
no,
people have different definitions
no.
for.
No,
Oh,
no.
man.
That's actually the problem with debating about like whether or not people believe in God is because no one really has a agreement on. So it's better to debate like what is God rather than whether or not you believe it exists. So, when we talk about like women's health, for example, what are we talking about?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
You don't know?
Exactly.
Okay, so really quick, do we have?
I mean, I have my definition. Yeah, you have your definition.
Really?
I'm not
Okay.
going to step
Oh,
on your
perfect. No. Okay. So I'm asking for your definition. When we're talking about women's health, let's say you're reading an article.
I don't
Okay,
have
that's
mod
not
powers
me.
here, just so you know.
That's not me. That's a mod.
What's going on? Dude? Why do you guys keep modding me? I mean, muting me, dude. I'm
ain't
serious.
me.
It's one of the moderators. 1 second. Let me just manage them real quick.
Yeah,
There you go.
drop the mods. Unmod them, please.
There you go. You can talk now.
So when we're talking about women's health, then like what do you comprehend when you hear the word women's health? Like, let's say you're reading an article and it's talking about, it's giving advice to women. Like, what are you comprehending?
People who call themselves women.
Okay, so women's health is about any male or female who uses the mouth
Yes.
sound woman. Okay, so
Yep.
I have a question for
you're-
Roman.
Hold on, wait. So then, what's the difference between a man and a woman? Like men's health and
they're
women's
just
health.
Yeah, I just say their mouth sounds. Self-addressed titles.
So women's health and men's health is just the health of whoever says the word.
Yep, pretty much.
No, that's actually stupid, and you know.
That
it.
is.
Well, you asked my worldview, Manimal.
But hold on, but
and I haven't heard a
well,
single
okay, so I'm gonna-
argument
I'm
against
gonna
it.
explain it.
And saying something
I'm
is
gonna
just
explain
stupid
it. Yeah,
is
okay.
genius. I love
Perfect.
the level of intellect you're
Okay,
showing.
so the issue is that your words have no descriptive power at all.
Did I say they required descriptive power?
No, but
that's you.
That's the whole
said that.
purpose of words. Do you realize that the whole purpose of words is to like be coherent and facilitate coherent communication?
If that was the case, we could define what God is.
No,
We can't.
actually, that's not the case. That's not the case.
Does
We,
God
we
have
can still
descriptive
have
power?
language. Hold on. Okay, now think about it, bro. Like without trying to invoke this whole God conversation, which is just completely ridiculous and not what we're talking about. We're talking about language. Whether or not you think language, the purpose of language is to facilitate coherent communication. Yes or no?
Sure, I'd agree with that.
Okay, good. So when you like your definitions of man and woman have no explanatory power, they don't describe anything, right? So it's basically incoherent.
Yeah, but if I'm talking to like a Japanese person and they're speaking Japanese and I'm speaking English, are we not using language? Are we able to communicate with each other? I can't
You're
speak
not.
Japanese. They can't speak English.
Perfect. No, that's a great point. Yeah, you have to understand the language system if you're gonna
Perfect.
communicate in that language. So
If
yeah,
different people have different ideas of what different mouth sounds mean,
no.
wouldn't it? Oh, so no, that's not possible. Okay.
Well, because think about it, bro. Like when you go to Japan, let's say you want to learn Japanese, and they tell you, okay, these are the words we have for this type of tree, that type of dog, the sun, the moon, the two types of humans, right? The two types of humans, right? The male humans and the female humans.
Sure.
Then you don't get to say, well, I'm going to just take those words that you just told me and have my own meaning for those words, right?
I mean,
'Cause,
that
well,
works
like,
in
if you did, hold on,
Japan,
no. If you did do that, would you be able to understood in Japanese? If you just said, I'm going to ignore all the
Yes.
words. Okay. So they
Would you wanna
said,
know why?
they
There's-
said,
there's
these
like-
are the words. Okay. These are the words for pine and oak tree. You're going to decide that those don't mean that. And you're going to just have your own meaning for pine and oak. Are you going to be able to be understood when you use those words?
I might be able to. Like in Japan, the fun thing about Japan is that there's like one word that has multiple meanings, and when you're specifically in conversation with Japan,
Wow.
and it has
So-
literally
Wow.
multiple
Really?
meanings.
So you think that you can just make up your own meanings when you're speaking in Japanese and people are going to understand you?
Well, I mean, it could be one of multiple things. People might misinterpret what you're saying.
Right. So then they wouldn't understand what you're saying, right? If you try to have
Some
your own
might.
private meanings for words when you're talking, no one's going to
Yeah.
understand what you mean, right?
I'm using mouth sounds to try to convey to you that
Right.
this is a title of address,
you're
of
not
personal
really
address.
edgy.
And the only way I can understand any of your mouth sounds, hold on. The only way I can understand any of your mouth sounds is if we have a mutual understanding of every single one of those mouth sounds, right? And if there's any sort of misunderstanding about any of your mouth sounds, then we need to get clarity about what you meant, right? And we're going to
Yeah,
use more
exactly.
mouth sounds a lot of time to use that, or at least we're going to point to like what it is, like ostensively, right?
Sure.
Like if I want to say that the sun, I could just point to the sun, or you know what I mean, the moon. I can point at it. I don't need to necessarily use words. So when we're talking about, because you can conceive of like human beings, male human beings and female human beings, right? You can conceive of those apart from each other.
Yeah. Sure, I can do that.
Okay, cool. So what words do you have for those two things?
Like, what words would I use to like identify a male or a female?
The human beings. There's a
Human-
male human and a female human, and also like the adult versions, not the child version. So I want like you conceive of the adult humans of either sex, and then what words do you have for those two things?
Well, there's lots of words. I'd use
ahead,
adverbs.
give me one.
And,
I know, yeah. Just give me some nouns. I want the nouns for those two things that you can conceive of, not adverbs. That
Right.
wouldn't make sense.
yeah,
I
you
don't know
would
what adverbs you. I don't know. Yeah. What adverbs do you have for adult humans of either sex?
Running.
That's weird. But go ahead.
running, jumping.
Wait. Humans of either sex. You're gonna think one of them is jumping and one of them is running. What?
Both are
Those
running,
are
jumping.
actions. Those are verbs, by the way. Both are jumping. Okay, so imagine human beings of either sex in your mind. Okay. The adult versions. Do you have any words for those two things?
Consenting.
What?
Yeah, I would argue that only adults can consent.
No, I'm asking for words that will distinguish between two types of humans.
An adult and a child, right? Consent.
No.
There you go.
Nope.
Unless you believe that children can.
Amante, I'm not asking for the distinction between adult and child. I'm asking for the distinction
Wait.
between the adult humans of either sex.
You're trying to differentiate between male and female? Or?
Hold up.
No, adult
You can just-
humans.
You can just call him Trucker, right? But I think Raja's been up for a good minute, so hasn't had the chance to say anything. So you mind if I just give Raja a chance to ask a question? Yeah, Raja, take it away.
Manimal was kind of getting to the question by making his point there of exactly that. So if women could be anyone and anything who feels like one, what should we call female adults then? What word should we call human adults who are female, since men want to take our words? What do we call ourselves then?
Their first name.
Okay, but we're talking about a whole. So as a whole, we're going to call female humans Jessica, Marnie, like everyone's first name.
You want a group word is what you're asking for. Okay.
Yes, because men are taking over our group words for female humans. What should we call ourselves then? If woman equals everyone and everything, what should human females call themselves then?
Well, I don't think female humans should be able to call themselves anything. I think that should be left up to the male humans.
Okay, so you're just a troll. Can we drop this prude?
Oh, you wanted an answer to your
What
question.
should we call the male humans then? What should we call the male humans?
Gods, according to this fuck.
Right. No, he was trolling for sure. That was just, it's
Yeah,
just
as soon as right there, as soon as he said, "Oh, well, women shouldn't be able to name themselves. That should be up to the men." So right there, that is exactly all this is males portraying females in the male gaze and how they want us to be. They're males taking over the female language, the female spaces, the female being. So we submit to them.
As soon as he said he didn't know what women's health was, then I knew he was trolling then. But he's just bad at trolling, you know. There's got to at least do better at it. I don't know.
No, Trucker just argues for the sake of arguing. To be honest, Mr. Nissy, how old are you?
36.
Do you agree or disagree with the background? Have you read the background?
Well, there wasn't a background when I joined. It just came back up.
Okay, well, do you agree or disagree with the background?
I'm stupid and I don't know what the first one means.
Okay, well then, if you're stupid, then why request? Ab?
Hello.
Do you agree or disagree with the background?
I agree. I just wanted to make a
Period.
point.
W. Unfortunately, I'm only looking for disagreeers. Pablitas.
Hello?
Do you agree or disagree with the background, bro?
What's up, my niggas? Fucking nigger, you stupid fuck.
Oh, what a child! Oh my gosh, grow up! I'm so sorry, mommy hurt you.
So the correct term for individuals of my ethnic background would actually be Pakis, as the British individuals would call myself. That's actually the N word. But continuing on, I don't think we actually have any disagreeers in the comments. To the best of my knowledge. To the best of my knowledge, what Mr. Nitty is re-requesting.
All right, so I've had a chance to read it. You're going to be mad at me, but I agree with all of it.
Period. W. Absolute W. W. Jelly, you always disagree. Oh, if I can't find any ups in the next few minutes, I think I might just call it because I've been live for 8 hours. That is a heck of a lot of time. Oh, and I've done all my uni work as well, so I want to run away and play Call of Duty. Oh my god, Manimal, you're gonna love this person. Oh, Manimal, please debate this person, Manimal.
Hard for a bit. I'm just going shopping.
Oh my god, Manimal, they're all yours.
I have stuff to do, but I'm
you
just
were on
gonna
earlier.
Say, I'm gonna
This
say,
is ridiculous.
how are you still on live? What the fuck?
Oh no, so basically on today I don't go to uni and it's all online lessons, so I just do all my online lessons on my computer whilst I go live.
All right.
And then
but
usually I'll
still,
just run
you've
away.
been at it for like hours.
Yeah, that's 8 hours exactly from now, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, half of it I've just been messing around on my computer whilst Nate and everyone else just takes over. Like Charlie, but I've been here for like, let's say, I'd say I've been here for like 5 hours of it. For 4 hours of it, yeah.
All right.
But go on, so you can
I'm
listen.
not gonna stay for long because I have stuff to do, but what's happening?
Yeah, so what's a woman?
Okay, so I would say a woman is a person whose identity is characterized by... Oh, wait. Something fell in my house. Wait.
Something fell on your house? Oh, whoa.
In my house. And then my mom asked what it was, and I was like, I don't know.
Okay. It's categorized by what?
So categorized by their own choice of like applying whatever they want to be, I guess.
That doesn't tell me what the characteristics would be when it comes to be associating with the word woman. For example, if you're saying that,
like it's an identity.
Hold up, because you're saying with whatever they want it to be, that doesn't specify as to how it's a woman or a man or anything in between. If you believe in non-binary and all the rest of it, when you're just saying it's whatever they want. You have to specify as to what it is the characteristics would be associated
Why would
with.
I have to if it's a social construct?
Okay, just be, saying it's a social construct, can be defined in any way just because it's a social construct doesn't tell me what the social construct is, bro.
Well, and the fact that it's a social construct, just like all words are socially constructed, means that it can't be individually determined. It kind of goes against the point you're trying to make, that people can just individually, decide what their identity is. We all have to have a mutual understanding of every word we use. So I just want to ask, do you think that you have to know what a word means before you use it as an identity?
I mean, sure. If you'd like to say it, you could know what a word means to yourself, right?
Well, no, it's not what it means to yourself. It's what it actually means.
I mean, we all have
In
different
the societies.
understanding of language slightly. Like, we don't all understand language perfectly. So
Right. Everyone has their own comprehension of words. Like, let's say pine trees and oak trees, you're going to have your own comprehension of those words. But the words themselves are used in English to point to two different types of trees, objective trees.
Right, but this is when it's a fact and not like distinction in between something that is not really a fact.
Well-
Like, for example, I'd say that like gender is more based on like belief, right? Just like you could say describe like define Christianity and define every Christian and the Christian identity, and you couldn't, because everybody lives their faith
You actually
differently.
can, though. No, hold on, because you can contrast Christianity with, like, let's say Judaism or Islam, right? You can contrast those things based on what the type of belief that someone has, right?